when we focus in on how we actually do things, we have to have a theoretical basis and practice that is centered in purpose-driven people and also organize people into an organization that allows people to be themselves, and that's kind of like the sense of where we're coming from in the discussion here at Bridge Alliance. And we're humbled to be here.
What does social cohesion in the United States look like, and how do we achieve it? The answer to that question is probably one of the most complex next to, I don't know, the meaning of life. And who better to brainstorm around such an important concept than the organizational and community leaders of the Healthy Self-Governance movement? Bridge Alliance gathered 30 plus diverse leaders in their network to discuss what social cohesion means in this country and what we need to do as a community to achieve it. And though that seems to be a short agenda for a multi-day retreat, so much more was gained from this convening.
It really starts with the title, right? We're co-creating social cohesion in the United States. And one of the things that we're experiencing nationally right now is this sense of disillusion of what was. We're having all these fights and arguments politically and culturally, et cetera, because we don't know what the new social cohesion will be. So the thing that we're trying to do is to get a group of people together to represent what the future of the United States is going to look and feel like 10 to 20 years from now.
Right.
And then kind of figure out from that place, from a representative place, what does inclusion and belonging look and feel like so that we can start to create the systems in place for social cohesion to come into being in a new way.
So in the state of Ohio, there is a large number of high-profile murders of police against black people. And so our organization has hold footing in that process, where in Akron, Jalen Walker was killed by police. He was shot 60 times. And then the organization that leads struggle in Akron, named Freedom Block, one of our partners, called us and said, hey, we need some help.
I actually first became aware about 20 years ago that we were on an unsustainable path as a nation. And it was inevitable that we were going to end up in this place of division.
I came from a conservative Christian background, and I had some tension with the faith communities I was part of because I kept asking questions that I guess ultimately come down to questions of inclusion. But the main questions I kept asking at the time was, for the people that we're saying are out, like, shouldn't we love them more? That was the question I was asking. Shouldn't we love the people that aren't in our community more? Not more, but shouldn't we show them more love?
The systems that we've designed up to date have not really reinforced this notion that we all have power.
Right.
And so we kind of need to unlearn and then relearn.
Instead of focusing on what we don't want, which is kind of the default for our culture, we really want people to look into their hearts and focus on what is it that I want for my future? What is the world that I want to leave my children?
Right.
And the world that I want to leave my grandchildren? Because if we can start to identify what we want, then we can create it.
Part of this is like also doing inner healing because the democracy reflects us. And so if we all do our own inner healing work, we can do our part to heal this country.
Being able to hear differences, being able to sit in what that means, even if it's in conflict with what we might know to be true, is important because if anything, it broadens our perspective.
Right.
And I think it also increases our ability to be more informed.
No, we need to be embedded in community. We need to be learning from the folks experiencing the issues. We need to be committed to being in solidarity with them and taking action on those learnings.
To work towards building cohesion in communities, to work towards local decision making, to work towards collaborative decision making, to work towards understanding how to address the issues around social and racial justice, we have to find common spaces.
Right, and here we had
And
one of
here
the
we had-
big common space.
Right, exactly.
I do want to find common ground with other people, and I think this is a great setting to do that, where we can be open about our experiences and our beliefs.
It's really interesting when people share ideas and people come from different backgrounds. everyone's equally powerful in the space, and so you just share things. And no one's debating. No one's like, there's no beefs. You know, just like, yo, we're doing the same thing. Let's all talk about it and figure it out together. And that's one of my favorite parts about any conference. Indeed, Bridge Alliance was the first time I've been into a room where there's not a majority movement people.
Right.
And so that was new. I've been in a few, but not like this, where you're not talking about, remember that one time? You know what I mean? Like everyone is in different capacity in different spaces. You got policy, you got people who are organizers, you got people who are EDs, you got people who are democracy oriented. So that's new for us.
The key is we all understand that we need to work together.
Right.
So we have to bring these people who are on the front lines, who are at this meeting today, figure out what is the commonality, what does bind us all together, define it, and define it in a way that impassions citizens across this country to bring about the change we all want.
My gosh, we have something to offer. We can work side by side with these activists because there are skills we bring that can enhance them, and there's what they do that we can learn from.
There was a conversation we had about incremental change and transformation, you know, the differences, but that we need both.
Right.
Right? We, even in the civil rights movement, there were different movements within it, right? There were different groups, but they were all necessary.
Part of the magic, if you will, of the convenings that we do for Bridge Alliance is really about providing the right question, enough structure and facilitation that people can bring their best, authentic, genuine self, their hopes and their dreams for the future, and then we put it together into this cauldron of a convening, and out of it comes something that didn't exist before. That's the process of creation.
The great thing about this conference is that we had representation not only gender, ethnicity, race, but age. And I thought that made the difference in how people were able to come together and then leave here and actually get something accomplished.
Each one of them I leave with learning something about the movement, but learning things about myself, and they're powerful.
I was coming into this hoping that this could be a bit of a microcosm, of the work we're trying to do, and I think the community that we're building is, I think you can see the kind of hope and the joy, and I think that inspires me.
I think like what happens at gatherings like these is that we come with kind of an empty battery, and then with all of the energy in this very vibrant room, we get all charged up with all that energy and electricity, and we're so like sparkling that when we go back, we're able to discharge it to our community.
I think the other thing that's unique about Bridge Alliance convenings is that as we remain in community with people and we gather together and and we talk to people and we listen deeply to where they are now and where they want to go, we actually do convenings that are at what I think of as the leading edge of thought for co-creating that future.
I've been pretty excited thinking about the possibilities. I hope that over the long term, as we engage with one another and share ideas, we'll see even more of what I thought emerged in our time together. I would say that we had a really good group of passionate people with a lot of social and creative brilliance, and that when we came together in that time, that we were able to tap into that, and that if we had more time, more resources, and ways of engaging with one another and some problems that we could solve together, I think we could come up with a lot of great solutions.
I'm really grateful to the Bridge Alliance for starting us off on this path, and really curious to see what becomes possible as we delve into those messy conversations and the future that we can co-create together.
I feel like we're going to be in this for the long haul, and we're going to be encouraging each other. We're going to be picking each other up when someone grows weary. Because of this, we are all connected. It's all interconnected.
There was one line that someone in my group mentioned, and I think that I'm going to carry with me. Patience is perseverance. I think that in all the work that we do, it's very tough work, it's very exhausting work, but it's meaningful work. And to achieve the results we want to achieve, to get that future that we all see on the horizon, It's all about patience being perseverance. That you have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And yes, there are going to be struggles and challenges, but I'm just going to remember that that result will be achieved if we keep continuing, not backing down from it.
We're not going to get to equity, we're not going to get to justice unless we continue to innovate.
We have to build, right? That's what you're doing.
Exactly.
Isn't that what you're doing?
It's a journey, yes. Building for the future.
Building for the
next
future.
generation and the generation after.
I really believe in the work that Bridge Alliance is trying to do here.
I'm so deeply grateful for the Bridge Alliance for bringing this incredible group of people together who are all deeply invested in making their communities in America and across America better for the people they work for and they serve.
Thank you, Bridge Alliance, and thank all who participated.
I am so filled with gratitude and joy that people, made the trek to come to the Omega Institute.
That we're hearing them right now?
We're hearing from them right now. We're about to go in and talk about what we're going to do for the future to follow up from this, and I really look forward to what we co-create together.